Good morning. I'm Andy Myers at Weiss Research.
I'm Jen Amos, and this is your morning market alert for Friday, November 4th. Today's action on Wall Street is likely to be driven by the government's October employment report. We'll bring you those numbers and all the market reaction after the opening bell. In the meantime, markets around the world continue to keep close tabs on the latest developments in Europe. Yesterday, Greece's prime minister scrapped his plans for a referendum on the country's latest bailout plan. The plan had blindsided EU leaders and spooked investors, and the Greek finance minister publicly opposed the referendum. There were fears that a no vote would lead to a disorderly default and Greece's exit from the euro. Now, after backing away from the plan, the prime minister faces a confidence vote that could topple his government.
The other big story out of Europe today is the conclusion of the two-day G20 summit in Cannes, France. EU officials told the Wall Street Journal that they're discussing ways that the International Monetary Fund could help struggling economies finance their debts. One option would allow Eurozone governments to draw on IMF reserve assets and exchange them for euros at central banks around the world. A second plan would allow nations to put money in a trust fund that would then be administered by the IMF. And a third option would prevent $280 billion of IMF resources from being returned to government shareholders next year. However, the U.S. opposes that plan, making it unlikely to pass. President Obama has said that the G20's top priority should be finding a solution to Europe's sovereign debt problems.
Turning to the corporate news, a new stock will begin trading on the NASDAQ Global Market today. The online discounter Groupon priced its initial public offering at $20 a share last night, above the expected range of $16 to $18, and added 5 million shares to the deal. The pricing signals strong investor demand and gives Groupon a valuation of about $12.7 billion. The company will trade under the ticker symbol GRPN. Meanwhile, LinkedIn filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission to sell an additional $100 million in stock. And both CBS and AIG increased programs to buy back their own stock. CBS will repurchase $1.5 billion worth of shares, and AIG will buy back up to $1 billion.
There's a new development in the case of broker-dealer MF Global. CEO Jon Corzine resigned from the company and expressed great sadness about the firm's implosion and bankruptcy. MF Global was forced to file for Chapter 11 protection earlier this week after U.S. regulators began investigating the company and a potential sale fell through. And finally, we're keeping an eye on shares of Starbucks today. The coffee chain is jumping 3% in the pre-market after posting a 28.5% jump in fiscal fourth quarter profit. Starbucks also raised its dividend by 31%, its third dividend hike in the past 18 months. Starbucks is making a bigger push to open more stores abroad, especially in China, and is trying to capture more sales in grocery stores after taking back that business from Kraft Foods earlier this year. That's the latest from Weiss Research. We'll be back after the opening bell with the results of this morning's big employment report and all the market reaction.